Hi there, it's Jenny from Quick Anime Recap, and today we're continuing the part 3 of the anime, A Couple of Cuckoos. So sit tight and enjoy the video. The anime continues with Sachi finishes taking a shower, and she then sees Nagi received a text from Hiro, asking him out for a date. The next morning, Erika finds Nagi dressed in swanky clothing, and asks if something is wrong. Nagi is super excited about his date with Hiro, and they were to meet at the local station at 9 a.m. Once Hiro arrives at the station, Nagi could barely keep himself together with Hiro's cute outfit. Hiro thought that Nagi's outfit was rather weird looking, and they then headed to their destination, which is an amusement park. Hiro purchases the tickets and tells Nagi to try and keep up with her. Motivated by Hiro's words, he vows to follow her forever. But, Nagi seems to regret those words as Hiro takes Nagi on every exhilarating ride in the park, leaving him in an overexerted state. Afterward, Hiro challenged Nagi to a race of who could finish the next-gen maze first. Inside the first part of the maze, Nagi is surrounded by a room full of doors, and the next room is a room filled with mirrors. There, Nagi runs into Hiro and falls into Hiro's lips. But it turns out, it was just her reflection in a mirror. Meanwhile, Erika arrives home from another shopping trip, and Sachi tells her that Nagi is on a date with someone. To that, Erika reveals that person is Hiro, which shocks Sachi, as he goes out with someone despite being engaged to her. However, Erika is okay with it, because she does not plan to marry him. Sachi then goes out the house, and Erika follows her. They visit a batting center, and Sachi vents out her frustration there. And Erika then tries her hand at some batting, but fails to hit a single ball. They later visit a bathhouse, and have a heart-to-heart about how fortunate they are to meet each other. By the end of the day, Nagi and Hiro go their separate ways, but Nagi thinks this date went terribly. Returning home, Nagi is greeted by Sachi. She makes him hamburger steak. As he eats it, Sachi interrogates Nagi about the date he went on with Hiro. At 3 a.m., their doorbell rang, and surprisingly, it was Nagi's dad, Mr. Yumano. He takes them all on a fishing trip. Erika is very excited, as this is her first time fishing. But, Nagi however, despite having went on fishing trip with Mr. Yumano multiple times, he is still having seasick. While Nagi vomits, Erika catches a big fish. Not wanting to lose to her, Sachi catches some fish too. And adding to the incentive, Mr. Yumano offers 1,000 yen to the person that caught the biggest fish. When Sachi catches a sea bass, Nagi recalls the first time he went fishing with his father. Although Nagi did not enjoy the fishing trip, his father imposed that he will continue going until he caught a fish bigger than the one he caught. Motivated to catch a fish, Nagi casts out a line and catches a fish. But it's too small and is released back into the sea. In the end, Mr. Yumano catches the largest fish and wins the contest. En route back to shore, Nagi and his father have a heart-to-heart moment. The next day, Erika leaves the house to visit her mother for Mother's Day. And upon hearing this, Sachi tells Nagi that she wants to shop for a gift for their mother too. So, they visit the mall, and Sachi is immediately captivated by it. Nagi then recalls that he never really hung out with Sachi before. They find a section of the mall that sell Mother's Day gifts. As they look at a bunch of teddy bears, Sachi reveals that she hasn't decided on a present for their mother. However, every choice they consider is ruled out, due to their mom's personality. Later at the food court, Sachi and Nagi reflect on their parents' happiness in their past accomplishments. They then recall, their mom always wears an apron. Following that, they decide to get her an apron, which Nagi praises Sachi with a pat on the head, making Sachi embarrassed and internally upset. That evening, Sachi and Nagi dropped off their present at their parents' house. After receiving it, Mr. Yumano cries tears of joy over it. Meanwhile, Erika was at a restaurant bar with her mother, Ritsuko, and they talked about her relationship with Nagi. To her confession, Erika believed Nagi would do better if he married Sachi. Later, Erika's father, Soichiro, expresses his interest in seeing Erika again. So, he sends Erika a text message. And upon reading it, she drags Nagi out of the house. When Nagi asks why Erika dragged him out of the house in the first place, Erika reveals that her father will be visiting their home, and she doesn't want to see her father. Meanwhile, Sachi returns home and finds Soichiro sitting on the couch. Immediately, Sachi accuses Soichiro of being a burglar, but he manages to clear up the misconception. Since either of them cannot contact Erika and Nagi, Soichiro asks for a bit of Sachi's time. Elsewhere, Erika tells Nagi that she's afraid his father will take her home, despite her wanting to be more independent. Erika realizes she can't run from him forever, so she decides to go home and confront him. But Nagi has other plans, and hopes to spend the rest of the night with her to take advantage of their situation. At a fancy hotel restaurant run by Soichiro, both Sachi and he talk about Nagi's relationship with Erika. As that conversation continues between the two, Nagi and Erika ride down a hill on a sack, and they are having a lot of fun. Later, Soichiro drops Sachi off at the house, and gives her a present while asking for another report on Erika and Nagi, which Sachi agrees. And Soichiro returns to his hotel. Inside, Soichiro gets a picture from his office, and the picture he's holding reveals a child that looks just like Nagi. At the Yumino diner, Sachi finishes cleaning up the tables and return home, but before she leaves, Sachi promises her parents to come back again. At home, Nagi sees a thunderstorm outside, and wonders if Sachi will be home soon. Just then, a lightning bolt struck the area, causing a power outage. Using phone for a light source, Erika becomes scared when she believes it's an attack from Mars. The two then head to Nagi's room. And once Nagi finds his phone, he realizes the battery has depleted. And coincidentally, Erika's phone dies too, leaving the two entirely in the dark. Erika then lights a candle in her room, and asks Nagi how's living here has been for him. Which Erika goes on to explain her thoughts and experiences since meeting Nagi. She then recalls about an emergency kit downstairs, and asks that Nagi to go and fetch it. Reluctantly, Nagi agrees, and downstairs, Nagi slips on a puddle of water, and unintentionally kissed Sachi. After the lights return on, Nagi plays off what had happened and leave, but Sachi is overcome with emotion. The following day, Sachi goes to school, and although her friends engage in a conversation with her, she's too gloomy to talk. Back home, Nagi cooks the special Yumino family curry, and calls Sachi to try some. However, she ignores Nagi. Once Erika arrives home, she is brought up to date about Sachi's mood at the dinner table. She then put on a teacher outfit, and makes Nagi realize that what he did to Sachi has her in an emotionally flustered state. Which Nagi try and apologize to Sachi, but didn't have the nerve to do it. The next day at school, Hiro and Nagi continue their study sessions, where Erika sends Hiro a text saying she overslept. However, Erika didn't oversleep, but wanted Nagi to patch things up with Sachi. Hiro notices that Nagi hasn't taken down any notes and offers to hear his troubles as a shrine maiden priestess. Taking up Hiro's offer, Nagi explains to her about his situation with his sister. After hearing that, Hiro gives her advice on Nagi's situation, and drafts him a good luck charm. That afternoon, Nagi returns home, and he knocks on Sachi's room, and formally apologizes to Sachi for how he has treated her. The apology moves Sachi, and finally went out her room, and demands that Nagi microwave some curry for her. Later, Sachi does some baseball practice swings in her room and then goes to bed with Erika. The next day, Erika asks Nagi to go shopping with her, but he refuses, claiming he has plans. He then invites Hiro to study with him, to make up for embarrassing himself at the amusement park. As the public library has a no-talking policy, they are forced to communicate through notes. Though, this ends up being fun and intimate for them. After that, Hiro unexpectedly invites Nagi to a kickboxing gym, which both Hiro and Nagi are having fun together. Coincidentally, Erika walks by, she sees them sparring and becomes upset. The next day, Erika demands Nagi to take her on a date. After forcing him to go jogging with her, she explains she thought he enjoyed exercise since he went kickboxing with Hiro. Since Erika has never experienced jealousy before, Nagi has to explain that jealousy means she must like him. This infuriates her, so she blurts out, she doesn't like him yet, then runs away. The yet confuses Nagi, and he starts to wonder maybe he likes Erika too. So he visits his parents' restaurant, where by chance he discovers embarrassing love letters his father wrote to his mother in high school. Mr. Yumino claims love causes people to do embarrassing things, but if it is true love it is worth it. Nagi doubts he could do it, so his father demands him, just to feel who is in his heart. Nagi does so, and becomes even more confused, when he feels Erika, Hiro, and Sachi all have equal places in his heart. Erika later receives a text from Nagi stating he also doesn't like her yet. Thanks for watching the video. Still want to watch more anime recap? Click the videos on the screen to watch more. And don't forget to subscribe to catch the latest upload. Bye.